is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game that is centered around individual escape rooms. Basically, you go into these rooms and you have to solve various puzzles inside of them while not trying to die, and then you can proceed on to the next challenge. And honestly, I think this concept is really cool for a Five Nights at Freddy's game. So today, we're going to do what I do best, and we're going to break this game and take a look at how it works behind the scenes. In this video, we're going to cover the first title screen, the intro area to this game, and ultimately, the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 Nightmare Escape Room that is near the start of the game. So I hope you enjoy this quick look at things that you're not supposed to see. So let's do a very quick rundown of this entire area, just so you have it fresh in your mind for the things I'll be covering. So you show up to this establishment and you talk to a welcome bot, and then you eventually hand over your backpack. After this happens, you proceed to the next room, which is the stage room. This is like the party room. So you have the animatronics on stage doing a performance, and behind you there is the pirate cove for Foxy. So you go up to this, you get a flashlight from Foxy, and then you crawl into a vent. And this vent takes you to the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 bedroom-themed escape room, where the actual challenge plays out. In this bedroom, you must find 2 keys and a combination to the safe. You have to manage the curtains to block Nightmare Fredbear, flash your light on Balloon Boy to prevent him from moving, hide in the Golden Freddy costume to avoid the Marionnete, dismiss the crazy little dude so you don't go insane, and last but not least, escape the room before time runs out and Nightmare Bonnie spawns. So you'll need 2 keys, and these are randomly spawned around the room, I believe, and you take these 2 keys and open the mysterious sealed box, which gives you a little tile piece. And this tile piece goes into the puzzle in the corner, and after you solve it, the safe code is behind that puzzle. You take the safe code, unlock the safe, get a hammer, pry the wooden beams off the door, and you successfully escape the room. So that's what happens here. So now we're going to rewind time and go back to the beginning. So back at the title screen, this is what that room looks like with a zoom out. It's actually a pretty big room. And what's actually interesting is that although you cannot see it, there's actually an invisible Vanny in this room. So if we were to re-enable the Vanny model, this is what it looks like. It's just sort of standing here, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't played this game all the way through yet, so I don't know if this plays a role later, but it makes me think that this Vanny model is here frozen because with the light, it casts a shadow on the wall. So the thing about this game is, as you progress, the title screen constantly changes. And the first major change we have is actually centered around that first escape room. So as you can see, this title screen now has the escape room visible. And on the screen, there's all these different animatronics popping in and out. You have Balloon Boy popping in from different sides of the room. You have the Marionnete sort of like creeping out from beneath the bed. And you have Nightmare Fredbear who's sort of walking in from the right side of the screen. And this goes on for a while. And there's lots of different variations and combinations of where the different characters can show up. But if we move the camera backwards, you can see the illusions sort of break. You can see that Balloon Boy is quite literally just popping out of the wall. His legs are always behind the wall, but his upper torso pokes through. And I was super curious about the Marionnete, because I want to see what was happening as it went beneath the bed. And it turns out the Marionnete is beneath the map with its super long legs, and it just sort of pokes through the floor. All the characters in this room sort of snap into place too. So you'll notice as I move the camera around and get different views on this room that the various characters are sort of just popping into place. And it's kind of funny, but Nightmare Fredbear just straight up walks through a wall and he'll just wait out of bounds until it's his time again to step back into frame. But honestly, this title screen is really cool, and the developers did an excellent job bringing it to life in a very creative way. So now we're gonna move on from the title screen and go to the opening cutscene. And we'll only stay here for a second because it's just a panning shot in an office, but this is what the office looks like from a different perspective. So now let's go to the very start of the game. So as the welcome bot finishes his dialogue, well, we have to give our backpack to this other robot. And this other robot turns around and goes around a corner, and that's all we see. So of course, I wanted to see where the robot was going. So I moved behind this small little barricade and walked down the hallway. So it turns out the robot just kind of goes into this back corner, and his arms are like clipping through the back of his body. They're like behind him. It's a bit weird because he's supposed to be holding the backpack in front of him, but yeah, he's just stored back here like this. But it is kind of neat seeing this whole area from out of bounds because you can see through every wall and see the stage room from back here too. Now earlier I mentioned that Foxy gave you a flashlight, and then Foxy disappears into the pirate cove. So this is what Foxy looks like behind the curtain. Foxy is just frozen in the last frame of their animation. But now it's time to leave this really chipper stage area and head into the vents to reach the escape room challenge. So now that we're in the bedroom, let's talk about a few different things. Starting off, earlier I mentioned the puzzle on the wall. Now what's interesting about this is if you go out of bounds, there's actually the safe combination written on the wall. And it's just plain text. And this plain text can never be seen by the player, but it is right here just out of bounds, right beyond that puzzle. There's also a lot of trees out here, and these trees normally can't be seen 100% because they are obscured by the window, but you can see them here. And if we head around back, as we rotate around this room, we'll find another room where the Marionnete comes from. So we can actually see what's behind that hole in the wall, the one that's boarded up, where the Marionnete comes out of. And there's like this creepy black fog, like this growing cloud of darkness that the tentacles eventually come out of. And it's kind of creepy, but here's a close-up of the Marionette's tentacles coming out from that very hole. Now, let's make this place a little less creepy. So I turned on all the lights in the room, and I deleted all the animatronics that could attack us. And I gotta say, it's a lot cozier this way. Of course, all the interesting things are off right now, so we're going to rewind time and tackle some different things. So when we first enter those vents to crawl into this room, something really interesting happens to the game. It unloads the area we just came from, but then it loads the bedroom on top of that same area. So the vents we're crawling through are like a U shape. They are two right angles that lead you into the bedroom. So what's neat is after we beat this puzzle, we go through these closet doors and there's a hallway there. But this hallway is actually in the same position of the stage room. So the vents that we're crawling through, if we were to go backwards, they actually now lead into the exit hallway that we need to get into. And you know, that's the magic of game design, because most players would not realize this. So this building we're in is not really cohesive. The rooms inside of it actually overlap on top of each other, and they must be unloaded in order to not cross over. So for example, if we hide inside the vents when Balloon Boy is trying to kill us, Balloon Boy will get up from the chair, walk through the closet, and then take a left through the wall. They will then walk through the vents and then kill us inside the vents. And this is because of the overlapping geometry. It's all a walkable surface for Balloon Boy. And just in case you're curious, the Marionnete can also kill us inside the vent. We are not safe in there. So something else you cannot see normally very well is Nightmare Fredbear outside the window. He will appear in the trees, and you have to close the window so he doesn't kill you. But the window glass is kind of frosted, but you can't really see out the window 100%. It's a little bit distorted, but this is what Nightmare Fredbear looks like when he's outside in the trees. So you can see he's just floating out here, and he's just standing within the trees. Now the final thing I wanted to test was to see if Balloon Boy could get me if I was up on the bed. But not just standing on the bed. No, I want to move the bed above the room and turn it into a floating platform. Balloon Boy gets off his chair, and he normally walks up to you in the room and kills you. And I know for a fact he can get me anywhere on the ground. So I move the bed into the sky, and then I'm sitting on top of it. And then I decide to add Balloon Boy back to the map. And I'm just waiting up there, anticipating that he's going to get off the chair and just walk straight up to me and kill me. But it turns out he gets off the chair and his logic just breaks. Because there's no ground he can walk to get to me, well, he just walks in place, all scary-like. Luckily, I am safe up here. But if I step off this bed, well, I'm gonna die. Now, there's a lot more to cover in this game. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you enjoyed it, please like the video to let me know, and I'll consider doing more in the future. Thanks for watching, and cheers.